There wasn't much of a honeymoon period really for Henry VII. For the couple of years after his marriage, when the Tudor dynasty is still so brand new, there's still a lot of Yorkist opposition. He has to spend a couple of years pushing back against rebellion and really setting up what sort of ruler he was going to be. And the key ones to remember here are those of Lovell, Stafford and Simnel. So first up, in 1486 in the spring, we have Francis Lovell, who joins the two Stafford brothers, Thomas and Humphrey, Humphrey being the eldest. They try to drum up support in traditionally Yorkist areas of the north to try and see if they can get Yorkist rule back on the cards again. However, this does pretty much fall flat. They don't have the support that they had hoped. Lovell runs away abroad, but the two Stafford brothers are caught. Now, what happens next is really indicative of Henry's reign and his management of people who are doing what they shouldn't be. The eldest brother, Humphrey, who's the real driving force behind this rebellion, who's more experienced in sort of military and that sort of thing, he is executed. But the younger brother, Thomas, is spared. This wasn't a sign of weakness. This was his way of using loyalty. Prove to me that you can be loyal. I've spared you. Now you owe me your life. Far more dangerous was the Lambert-Simnel debacle. Now, I know that in more recent years, this has been argued whether it really was this person called Lambert-Simnel or was it one of the princes in the Tower. I'm going to go with the traditional version today, not because I have sided one way or the other, but because this is still what's in the A-level textbooks and I don't want to confuse any students who might be watching. So the story goes that a young man called Lambert-Simnel was coached by Yorkist supporters to make him pretend to be Edward the Earl of Warwick, so the nephew of Edward IV and the son of George of Clarence. Even though this is someone who was actually already alive, the conspiracy gained traction and he was even crowned as Edward VI in Ireland. Henry VII responds by revealing the real Earl of Warwick from the Tower to undermine this and then raise an army. This then all culminates, and this was a very brief version, in the Battle of Stoke, which is often considered to be the last battle of the Wars of the Roses. This happened in 1487. And Henry's forces won the battle and the Yorkists were defeated. Young Lambert-Simnel wasn't executed, he was put to work in the kitchens. This didn't obviously end all the Yorkist opposition that was floating around. It did show that he was able to meet rebellions head on and deal with them very effectively.